Coming from a galaxy near you, this is Brothers in Booze. And here are your hosts, Greg Washington and Doug Ziegler.
Hello,
Cheers.
hello. Cheers.
No video. That's my bad. No Facebook.
Well, one of them is working.
No Twitter. Doug.
Yeah, for me.
But what I do have, Doug, is All Hallows Dark. Y'all look familiar?
Ooh, yeah, it looks a little familiar.
You remember this one?
Oh, yeah, I do. That's a good one. At least for me, I liked it anyway.
When did you get this?
It's
When did you get it? Wow, because it's still really the carbonation and the crispness comes out, man. It's like you gave it to me yesterday and you didn't give it to me yesterday.
No, I did not.
Right. So when did you don't know, or you just got it right before you came?
No, I bought it I think a day or two before I came to Barrel and Flow. So I think it was just released because Omegang does a few Halloween style beers, and that's one of them.
Oh, Hallows Dark. All right. What do you got? Why I get our Facebook here? I think back or something.
So oddly enough, I grabbed one that I got at Barrel and Flow as well. But this is we got when we went to Necromancer, Tall, Dark, and Mild, which is this is their English dark mild ale, 3.8%. But as always, they always have good can art. A little Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein on there. So maybe I can open the can because I cut my fingernails and I tend to cut them super short. So that was not bright of me, but.
Yeah, and I'm just shaking my head because I know that one pretty well. I had it last year. I took it home from Barrel Flow. So this year you took it home. That's great.
Yeah. As you see with my aggressive pour, you can see the nice color there, as you expect from the dark mild. Here we go. Just smells. These are. If I can find a dark mild, I will grab it. Just like an ESP, I will always grab those, just because I want to see how they hit the style. You know.
Yeah, and what did I tell you? I may only get to 2, but this one's going down real fast. This is really good.
And
it's
only
really good.
It's only 5%, so it's super drinkable.
Really fantastic. How's what you're having?
It's excellent. It's a good dark mild. And that's the thing. It's just something about a good old, just something you feel like you're sitting in an English bar, just chilling out, watching fucking football. And I mean, the European football, but just hanging out and everybody having just the same, there's like 3 beers on tap and one of them's an English dark mild, that's what it feels like drinking it to me. It's like coziness to it.
Excellent. Well, warning y'all, this is probably going to be one of our quickest streams ever. I am due to leave tomorrow for a little trip, only a day, but I'm not packed and I'm not ready. And it's involving work. So we have to leave at a certain time. So my dicking around is it's not going to be working tomorrow. So I'm one of those guys that I don't know how you are when you go away. Are you one of those time sensitive people, or is the wife or the kids time sensitive? Meaning, if you say you got to leave at 8, you're out.
I am.
Okay. And do you get a toot about it though?
No. It depends on who I'm traveling with. If I'm by myself, I'm on time.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm traveling with other people, then there's a lot of factors. Like if you're going on vacation and your kids are there, some of my kids are super prompt and some of them are not. So you just kind of have to roll with it, Yeah, I'm with you, Jeff. That stuff blows up. I'm all about it. Bring it on.
You can always help. Or it would always be helpful for Dark Mile to be good because everybody. I don't know. I love him. So
Me too.
yeah, Doug. So yeah, I'm not. Not that I'm not on time, but I kind of maybe dick around if you give me a little leeway, and that's not good. So I don't need leeway. I need to get off of here at some point and go pack. Otherwise, I'm messing with the ladies' work, and I'm not trying to do that. So, with that being said, Doug, here we go with this. Are you ready, Doug, or should I go first?
Nah, you can go and then I'll go if you want. I'm ready if you want to. I'm easy.
Cool. I am happy to announce, y'all. Doug, you probably didn't see this actually. Maybe you saw it in a different form, but today is the 1 year anniversary of people that we love and hold dear to our heart, Doug, and it's the first year of Liquid Intrusion. Yay! Where's my
Yeah. Yeah. Cheers to that.
So cheers to 1 year of crafting memories at Liquid Intrusion. We be sure to head over to their website, y'all, to see the map if y'all can get any of their beer, if it's located. If y'all in the DMV area, y'all be able to get them. If not, buy a sticker, y'all. Go on their website, buy a sticker, and magically beer appears once you buy a sticker.
Yeah.
So it's all over but all over that that middle Atlantic region there for sure. At this point, Doug and I have hung out with these folks for a good period of time. They are great folks, great people. They are as energetic and beautiful as they look in that picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just proud of them, and I'm happy to be friends with them. I'm lucky enough to be friends with them. And yeah, I'm just happy about that. What do you got for Lipco, buddy?
Well, what I wanted to talk about is something that I found super interesting. Congrats to them.
But what do you got for Lipco? Anything before we move on?
Oh, Libco, their beers are awesome. They're just great people, and they hustle. I mean, as they told us, this is like they work a full-time job and do this. Like they really hustle and they really work their butts off. And congrats to making it a year because a lot of them don't. So kudos to you guys.
Amen. And many, many more. Many, many more. Excellent. Yep. Now I get to use my balloons. Yay! Poof. And a little bit more applause. And then we'll move on. Those folks are near and dear to my heart. I love them. They're lovable. And I wish the best of luck to them in a kind of hard industry at this point, Doug. It's not, the craft beer industry, after the boom, and then the pandemic, it's kind of been rough times, man. So
yeah,
I'm glad to see that they're on that right path.
Yep. And Zach is exactly right. They were pretty dope guests as well. So yeah. So
yeah, they were.
Yeah.
And
that was a layered joke, Zach. That was very good.
We're just gonna leave that one out there, right? And this is funny. Mm-hmm. So you can relate, Zach. You can relate.
Yeah.
All right. So Doug, what you got?
So what I saw this week, which I thought was really interesting, is our friend Liz Garibay, who runs the Chicago Brewseum, I believe. She's been a guest on the show. She's having some pretty interesting people she's interviewing. So I believe, Greg, you might have the graphic, but it was basically the folks. No? Oh, well, I sent it to you. All right. Anyway, I'm going to have to look it up. I sent it in our group chat.
Oh, okay. I'll look for a quick.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
But so if you remember a while back in Pulse nightclub, there was, obviously a horrific shooting. Guy killed a whole bunch of folks who are LGBTQ. One of the people was in there that helped knock down the gunman and hold him down was a brewer. And was it? I thought it was Pulse. Maybe it's a different nightclub. Sorry, I have my facts mixed up.
No, Pulse was definitely Florida.
Yeah, that was Florida. And this is the first time that this person is going to do an interview, and it's with Liz and Chicago Brewseum. So Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have it. Maybe, yeah, there it is, Craig. So Atrevida is the brewery, and Club Q in Colorado Springs. That's what it was. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
it was another gay club or
Mm-hmm.
LGBTQ club that got shut up by some idiot,
Mm-hmm.
and that guy was able to stop him from doing more damage. So, kudos to him, to the owner, and he didn't make a big deal about it. He just made it like he was actually right after they interviewed him on TV, and he was like, "Well, that's part of my family." So, he didn't make a big deal about it, and they didn't do any like really publicity off of it, which I thought was admirable because they could have. But I just thought that's pretty cool that they were getting the opportunity to interview them. So, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, your slip up there shows that this is happening way too many times because we
Hmm.
need to remember that, and obviously that is a thing that's near and dear to your heart, given you have kids all over the spectrum.
Yeah,
So,
we do.
um, well, you have a family that's all over the spectrum. In a proud manner, I say that, but like that's just a tragedy, So I'm saying, you might be old, of course, you are old, but at the same
I
time,
am.
you are very up on these issues, and it's really important to you. So for you to make that slip, in my personal opinion, means that this is happening way too much, and we need to, do what we can as far as gun control. We could be here all day with the whole problem, but
Yeah.
I just that's my take from it is it's happening too much. Shout out to Liz for who is also in the spectrum, but also proudly. And it's good to see that get highlighted. And also, if I recall correctly, wasn't that the one where everybody jumped on and started buying T-shirts, and then it became a problem because they couldn't fulfill all the T-shirts?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, "Can you please
Right,
stop buying T-shirts? We can't keep
right.
up." Like they were trying to do that, but yeah, because people were just trying to support them, which is great.
Right. But that's another hot take. I'm going to jump off on this and then we'll move on. Is that like I always say this, and sometimes people bristle until I really explain myself. But you know, for better or for worse, and it's for better in this point. America is a very, very giving country. There are studies done that we give the most, whether it be our citizens and or our government. So like people use it as a bad point, like we're giving money to Ukraine again. But at the same time, that is again us showing our humanity sometimes in the face of other inhumane and racist and sexist and other kinds of dumb shit that happens in this country, whether it be from the government or the folks who live here. So we have to give a shout out to when we do good in America, we have to acknowledge that as much as we acknowledge the shortcomings that this country has, and there are fucking many.
Yeah, there are, but you're right. We are, generally speaking, when there is a tragedy or a need,
And
Americans in general are very good about coming to aid for that stuff.
Mhm.
So
And you
yeah,
could also, yeah, you could also argue that, just throwing money at a problem, obviously doesn't work. And, sometimes it feels callous because that's what we do as Americans, but at least we're doing that. We at least have to acknowledge that and not put a sting on it, if you know what I'm saying.
I also would counter that money is the single best thing you could do for certain scenarios.
In many scenarios, yes.
Like that, if people that are struggling, if you give them money, guess what? That
It's
helps
going to
them,
help.
right? That's an immediate help.
Correct.
You can give them certain things that might help them. Like here's some clothes, great, and that might help.
Hmm.
But money can help them do things like get medical aid, or there's a million things you can do with money. It's not saying you shouldn't do things like donate clothes or things like that. It's just money has been shown to be something that if we just give people money that
Hmm.
need it, they can use it, and it works.
Yep. And you know what doesn't work? And all the money in the world's probably not going to help it, Doug. Segueing out of this is this. What the fuck?
Blah. What the fuck is that? Why did you not? You didn't even warn me about that. Like, ugh.
Because your reaction was classic. That's why. Yeah, so disclaimer, I'm not sure if this is true or a prank or whatever, but it doesn't matter. It's fucking gross.
All right. Which, if it is real, which is the worst out of those three?
Oh, without a doubt, the olive loaf.
Oh, agreed, 100%. Because that sounds, all of it sounds gross. Olive loaf sounds especially gross. Hey, well,
Yeah,
we need Zach here to verify the memes. That's what he's here for.
no,
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 I
you
can't.
can't.
I can't sing that stuff on here. We'll get flagged.
But Zach, don't give us any of your goody good bullshit, please. Thank you. And but yeah, Doc, I don't know what to say about this. If this shit's true, keep it away from me. If it's not true, y'all did some good graphic arts and stuff. Um so
Yeah.
but
Ooh-wee.
yeah, that's pretty foul. So I don't know. Wanted to show you that. Let's see, Doug. Where we go here? We got a couple things to get over here, y'all, and we're gonna dip out pretty fast tonight. Warning again, spoiler alert. But Doug, what you got? You want to do? Let's do watch. Me and the kids are in the middle of Alien and Aliens.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And my boys have saw the first one. We saw the first one last week, and they declared that Alien is a horror movie, Doug.
Oh, I agree 100%. So yeah,
Well, there's a question out there. I don't know. Some people question whether it is or not, and whether it's sci-fi or not. I'm soundly. There's a lot of jump scenes, and Sigourney Weaver's a badass in that too, by the way.
Yeah.
So a couple of films. We're going to be on the road, so we're not going to have a Saturday matinee this week. But it's cool. What's going on? What you watching?
Well, I just realized I'm not sure I had anything new. I thought I did I talk about that I watched a show called The Class of '09. Did I talk about that before?
I don't think
on
so.
Hulu?
No, I don't remember that.
All right, let me pull that up. But I thought I had.
Class of '09.
Class of '09. Class of '09.
I can't even get a grasp of what the hell it's about just by the title.
All right, well, let me pull it up here. So this is from IMDb. So hold on. So this is it's basically like the FBI, but it's time hopping. So basically, so it starts in '09. That's when the class comes in, and it's Kate Mara and one of the guys from Sense8. Like I said, I could have sworn I talked about this. Maybe I didn't. What I find really funny about this show is they go into the FBI Academy, and one of the trainers is the lady who was in the well in Silence of the Lambs, which I found really interesting because the FBI are the people that rescue her, and here she plays an FBI agent later on. It's symmetry, but it's really interesting because it goes to '09, it goes to current day, and then it jumps to like 2035 or something like that. And but I just thought it was really. I like that sort of stuff, Greg. I know you don't like the sort of time hopping, time traveling.
I mean, I can. It just needs to go slow for me so I can understand it. But go on.
No, this one is very easy to follow. Like they very much lay it out like when they're moving, and it's all in a storyline that makes sense. Like if you were to watch something like Dark is a German show. That shit hops all over the place, and half the time you don't know what year you're in. Which some of that I enjoy because you kind of have to figure it out. But this isn't like that. This is pretty interesting, and I've yet to finish it. I think I have 2 more episodes left. But yeah, Kate Mara's excellent in everything she's in. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Really neat. Cool. So what's going on there?
Check this out, Craig. I just found this from MoMA Gang. There are 3 philosophers, but this is their Nitro version. They've never done a Nitro version of this. So yeah. Ooh.
I'm jealous of this one. I am.
Oh, the can is leaking. It's leaked all over my keyboard. That's not good.
Oh, Zach, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk gaming here in a second.
Yep. So yeah, this is sorry, it kind of poured weird, but You can see it's got because it's made with creek and cherries.
Mm,
But
mm,
you see how it just comes out. It's got that nice the nitro head on it.
mm.
So
Yeah. And nice looking glass too.
so good. Are you a fan?
Excellent.
Are you a fan of Three Philosophers? Because it is made with creek and cherries, which
Mhm, mhm.
I thought maybe you would be considering your hatred of Mad Elf.
I love creeks though, by the way. So I don't like cherry. I don't know if you know the story. I don't like cherries, but I love creeks. So it's just that tartness that beer brings out. So if you're gonna put creeks in any kind of beer, I'm in.
And like Flynn.
Um, yeah, and I'm also in on.
Do 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 do.
The boys and I have been discovering new games lately, and the game that I found recently, Doug, it's really fun, is Tekken 7.
Good old Tekken.
Yeah, I've never fucked around with Tekken, and I really didn't even know what it was, Doug, until a couple days ago. It's on the uh PlayStation Plus subscription thingy that we have. So you pay for it and then you get games.
Yep.
So it's about like $120 per year. Whatever, Zach. Anyway. And Tekken's there, and I don't know, the family is all kind of getting into these, fighting games. So I'm an old school Street Fighter. Like, remember how it was Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like everybody had a side. My side was always Street Fighter. I'm not a Mortal Kombat person, so we do have one of the latest Mortal Kombats. And this is too much gore for me, Doug. To be honest with you, it's just over. It's literally, pun intended, overkill. So I prefer the I prefer Street Fighter. Yeah, I found Tech. Yeah, and I'm ready for Tekken 7 8, but that doesn't come out until January 26th. See, look, I know when it is at, but I'll probably wait till like May to pick it up because then I need to come down off of that $70 price. I need to justify that. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, we get on Xbox they have their
The Game Pass.
the Game Pass where you can get all those. Sometimes you get free games out of that, which is kind of nice, but and some decent ones too. But I was always a Mortal Kombat person versus Street Fighter. I like Street Fighter.
Yeah. They're both legit. Yeah, absolutely, Russell. Absolutely. Street Fighter, when it first came out, it was bomb. And Russell's old enough. Sorry, Russell, to know that.
Join the club, man.
Absolutely. Because you remember back in the day when those two were like in their heyday, you know what I'm saying? And like, everybody was going back and forth. It was kind of almost like the Android Apple days, earlier when people gave a fuck about what phone you had. Now that seems to have tamped, thankfully, because that shit's stupid. But anyway,
except now that iPhone came out with an iPhone with a USB plug, because all the people bitching about it, so they don't have FireWire for it, which is great.
I don't have those problems. I'm an Android person.
Me too.
I have Android people problems, whatever those are. But yeah, y'all, Tekken is fun. If y'all never fuck with it. If you can get a hold of it and you like video, one-on-one. I don't know what they call them, fighting games. Check out Tekken, man. It's fun, and you can pick it up on the cheap or get it off the PlayStation thingy if that's what platform you're on.
That's what you're into.
I'm not even going to try to get into the PlayStation Xbox wars. Y'all can keep that shit away from me too. But I'm not really concerned about that because I think that's really more of a Twitter thing, and Twitter's not real life or X or whatever you want to call it. It's just a segment of people that want to argue with each other. It's basically what I think X is basically. So anyway, so Doug, I have an intriguing question for you. One I didn't warn you about either, but I wanted to see what our audience thought about it too. And you don't necessarily have to make it personal, if it makes sense. So you don't have to answer this question in a personal way, because if some people are watching, it might come back to bite you.
Yeah.
But 65% of Americans told a guest to make themselves at home and regretted it later, Doug. So, who makes the worst guest, Doug? Is it friends? Is it siblings? Or is it in-laws? Now, it's really funny because I thought that this would be reversed if you look at it.
Yeah.
It's cleanly reversed, but it's not. So, do you have any personal or non-personal anecdotes?
It is reversed for me, but just for the record. And I'm not sure. And Zach, I can't say it's you. You've never been at my house. I don't have enough slippers for you. Yeah, you're right, Russ. That is exactly what I think. Is yeah, they just come in and they think they own the place. Yeah.
Are people just being nice here or what?
No, no,
Weird.
I think it depends on the level of friends you have too. Like some friends are, you say, make yourself at home, and they'll be like, all right, and then just like crack their knuckles. What can I do in here to make this? But I always view it like this: if you come to my house the first time you're there, you're a guest, and after that, you're hey, you don't have to ask me. You want to get something to eat? Go in the fridge. I got plenty of shit in there. Go eat. Like I don't, I don't expect a lot of asking after like the first visit is like not even first visit. Just if you're there and let's say you're staying for the weekend, like if you're there for the first night, then you're probably just kind of getting your bearings and all that. And I understand that, but no comment.
Sorry, Doug. I slipped that in there while you were in the middle of talking. Finish up.
No, that
You
was
get a
great.
chance.
I just think that if you have people at your house and they're people then they should be able. Hey, my house it's not a museum. So I
Yeah.
just and my friends that I've had when I said that don't do the whole I'm just going to run over the house and do whatever I want. They don't do that. So
Mhm.
well, maybe that's how Zach you roll. Maybe that's how you eat your sour cream at home.
Right. Well, and that's how Zach got on this list at friends at 42%. Right. Right.
Yeah, thanks,
Right.
Zach.
So for me, I am 100% sure my in-laws don't watch this. Like, I don't think they could stand this much of me to watch it. So,
Oh,
so
oh,
yeah. I mean, I'm just keeping it real.
okay.
Um, I got further evidence for that, but we won't go
Yeah,
there
I'm
now.
gonna.
We're gonna say?
I was gonna say mine definitely don't watch this because one, I'm drinking and they don't drink, and two, I swear on here they don't enjoy that very much. So
And third,
yeah,
they probably don't even like you that much either. So
they
um,
pretend to. They pretend to,
right. I was gonna
but
say
yeah,
'cause you're gonna be like, no, they act like they do. And I was gonna say they pretend to, right?
I don't. I don't disagree with you.
Right.
Uh,
Oh, mine's pretend, but it's pretty clear. Like, yeah.
well, it's
But whatever.
also it's tenuous with them because like there's a lot of contentious topics because they're Trumpers and now DeSantisers. So like there's a lot of topics we never mention around each other.
Right. But keeping it clean and getting back to the subject matter at hand, which is specifically them staying at your house, it just even if it's not in-laws, even if it's my significant other's in-laws, if that makes sense, meaning my parents, um, it's just all to me, the whole thing is just awkward. I know it's family, but it's just awkward when you leave the house and then your parents come back to it. There's always seems to be some kind of like awkwardness with that. Whether it's, one of the things I tell my kids is that I literally would love to be done parenting you when you are out of the house. Like, at that point, like it's funny, but seriously, at that point, you're an adult. So like, my parenting thing changes. So me dictating things and all that, it just doesn't ever make sense, even if I go to their house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, I think a lot of parents want to come into our domain. I'm just talking everybody in general, and still kind of have that parent kid relationship from when we were in their house. Like, they can't separate that sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of parents have that like dictating method style still, and I'm fucking
Oh,
40. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
yeah.
40. So like that awkwardness, see to me it'll never be friends in this one for me because I'll just be so blunt to you that either you're gonna leave or we'll still be really good friends. But like I'm not gonna let anything slip. Now if it's the in-laws, Doug, that's the thing that you have to really kind of maneuver, even if you just want to tell them to fuck off, it may not be the best. You got grandkids involved, you got wife involved. You know what I'm saying, Doug? It's
Yeah.
not like straight and dry. But if it's just you, it's like say you came out here, and in fact, you were unfortunately it didn't work out, but you were almost planning to be here this week because Home Dad Con is in Milwaukee right now as we speak.
Yeah.
So you were talking about coming here, and you would have probably stayed at my house maybe for a day, maybe two. And if anything kind of arose then, I would just have a straight blunt conversation with you and
Mhm.
vice versa. And then it would kind of clear up everything, or you'd be like, fuck you, I'm out of here. So then, but that clears it up, Doug, if you know what I mean. It's
Yep.
harder with the in-laws to navigate all those like different things. And like I said,
Yep.
you got kids and you got like, they're the
Mhm.
same as head and all those things play in the factor. So again, I don't know what y'all thinking about 37%. That should be
I
seven.
wonder. I wonder the age range of people who did that.
That should be
Yeah.
73%.
Yeah.
Literally reversed. And I'm not just talking about me. Like there are people who have wonderful, wonderful relationships with their in-laws, but it's still awkward when you get together, or it's still awkward if they're sharing that third room. You know what I'm saying, Doug? Like I just feel that it's always going to be awkward. And even if you're like best friends, there's still a level of like maybe it's best if you stay at the hotel up the street.
Yeah. I will say Zach just posed an actual good question.
Yeah, put it up.
Yeah. So this is I have things to talk about with this.
Okay.
Uh, all right. So like my sons stay with their mom during the week, and but they have not been up much because they both were working. And they were working weekends.
Mhm.
And there are some kids that they brought friends up to hang out, and most of them have been fine. One was just he wasn't outright disrespectful. He was just kind of like he was like you at the food, and we were not like making like I wasn't making like Indian food. It was like here's some here's some pizza that one of the pizzas around here makes chicken speedy pizza, which is basically like Greek seasoned chicken on pizza, and it's delicious. And he just looked at it. It was like I threw a turd on his pizza, and like it was just I don't know. It's just a weird way
Awkward.
to go about it. Yeah, it was, and I don't know it, and this is one particular child. I will just say that, and
Mhm,
he was up at her house twice,
mhm,
and so yeah,
mhm.
yeah, and they just go to town and drink all the stuff. Yes, Greg, Zach, you're right. I didn't have G Fuel, but they drank all the drinks. So yes.
Mm. So I know this sounds archaic and whatever, but we pretty much had a no sleepover rule, actually.
Hmm.
So, and then we went through the pandemic. So then that was like, that would have kind of been time for us to, we didn't, it wasn't really like a hard rule, but it was kind of more like a soft rule, if that makes sense. Like
Mhm.
a case, it was no, but it was a case by case basis, if that makes sense. And then like the pandemic was really like me and my boys were talking about it, how like it just ruined a whole bunch of shit that me and his mother had planned for them, whatever, and it just really just slowed a whole bunch of things down. But one of those things was sleepovers actually, and now they're just too old for that shit. Like
Yeah.
at this point it's going to be like boyfriend girlfriend at this point more than it's going to be like friends, just because of their age.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about all that. I know how that goes. I heard about that.
Oh, you heard
Um,
about that, did you?
yeah. Well, I've heard some stories from you, so
Yep.
yeah. We'll leave it at that because I don't know who's watching. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's cool. I thought that graphic was fun. We will move on to something else. We got a bunch for y'all tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna hit you really hard in a short period of time. So at this point, this is what I need. Let me set up a little bit, but I need to. We're gonna do this, and we're going to do this. Dateline, Tennessee.
Oh no.
Man pleads guilty to AK-7 threat or pie dog. Tennessee man pleaded guilty to pointing an AK-47 rifle at a Little Caesars employee because $6 pepperoni pizza was taking too long. Police say Doty became incensed after told that the pizza would take 10 minutes to prepare. It was not hot and ready, Doug. I report. Doty demanded a free order of crazy bread before briefly leaving a restaurant, which is about 5 miles from his residence. When Doty returned, he was carrying an AK-47, which he pointed at a female worker. And it happened to be her first day on a job, Doug. Do you believe that shit? While
I
the
would
men,
quit.
right. When another employee sought to leave the restaurant, Doty asked, "Where the hell are you going?" The staffer then went back to the room to dial 911. That's where he was going, motherfucker. In the TV interview following the November 21st bus, the worker who had the AK-7 pointed at her said that she was shocked at Doty's overreaction to the minor wait for pizza. Referring to the Little Caesar slogan, she noted, "We're not always hot and ready."
All right, that is a slight overreaction. I feel like that might have been a bit too far.
America. Yes, our newsroom was hot, Zach.
Yeah,
We work hard here to bring you the what the fuck news. So you
that
need
was
to
what the fuck.
acknowledge, yeah, you need to acknowledge, Zach, our hard work here to bring you the latest news. What's up, Doug?
So I think Tennessee deserves an honorable mention in the fucked up news category because it's always Florida and Texas, and the third one is always fucking Tennessee. It's always Tennessee. What is going on in Tennessee other than it's landlocked? Maybe that's the problem.
Well, that end, it's not hot and ready, Doug. That's the problem. Now, I don't know if it's an AK-47 problem, but it's a problem.
Maybe their toppings with bullets. That was dumb. I apologize.
And that is your what the fuck news for this week, the first week of fall. Welcome to fall, y'all. Fall is here. Halloween. All you pumpkin spice clowns, it's time for you. Go get your pumpkin spice. I rode by Starbucks this morning. It was backed up.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all getting y'all pumpkin spice in. So yeah. Where do we go from here, Doug? Oh, I have a question for all of y'all.
Oh, yes.
Especially the audience. Chris, what's your favorite segment?
Yeah.
What's your favorite segment? What we did, what the fuck news? We did, what are you watching? We did, what are you playing? And we did,
what the fuck
just
news?
miss what the fuck news. Yeah.
You just missed it. Literally just.
Yeah, Chris. It was somebody held up the Little Caesars in Tennessee, Chris, because it wasn't hot and ready. He had to wait 10 minutes for his crazy bread and his $6 pepperoni pizza.
And he drove home to go get a gun to come back.
Right. And
if
then
he would have drove home and come back, it would have been
Doug, there. I forgot a key. Yeah, and I forgot a key point. What happened? So in bid to get this crazy loon to leave, a female customer received her order and handed her his own pepperoni pie. Then Doty fled the restaurant.
He fled. I got my pie.
And he got out of there. Unfortunately, the police caught up to his ass. And yeah.
Also, did that guy not look exactly like the kind of person that would do that? Exactly. Like that dude looks exactly like the kind of guy who would be having an AK-47 over a pizza.
Doug.
Sorry.
I would love to argue with you, but I can't. So.
He just looks. He looks the part. That's all I'm saying.
That is a fact. So, Doug, I showed this to you earlier. So, y'all know Inside Ball. Mostly, I don't show Doug with the things that I present because I kind of want to see his face and have that reaction. Because I don't get to see y'all's reaction. I get to read Zach's reaction. I don't get to see his face. I get to see Doug's face, so I love the surprise. But this one I gave Doug a warning on because I think it's kind of cool, and I want to y'all please chime in the comments because I know y'all gonna have comments on this one. Name no one outwhites an AK.
Sorry, we gotta put that one up one more time. Sorry. All right, Greg. Sorry to step on that. That was just too funny to pass up.
Zach's used to stepping on all of our shit, so I'm used to it at this point.
Yeah.
Y'all need to name an artist that everybody loves. Everybody loves, of course. That's a subjective thing, of course, y'all. And you just aren't impressed. So, Doug, you first.
Oh, you want me to go first? I'm not sure you want me to go first because I have a big one. The Beatles. I am not. I have heard the Beatles ad nauseum. They're a fine band.
Yeah.
They are universally adored and loved. And I'm just goop. As runner up, Chris Stapleton, any of those fucking country knuckleheads. No, thanks.
Jason Aldean.
Yep. Well, Jason Aldean for obvious reasons, but
of course. Even like people like Billy Ray Cyrus and Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker, at least Rucker, like Rucker Howard. What the hell did he do? No, Darius Rucker at least was with Hootie and the Blowfish and had pop stuff. So
right. Who is Jackson
Pollock? All right, and then he followed it up with, "Wait, you mean music?" So, so he was talking artist. That's the thing. He went artist.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fine.
And that is a fair thing because Jackson Pollock just flung paint at a canvas and people paid fucking thousands and thousands of dollars.
An artist, okay.
Who is that? Who is that in that photo? By the way, is that an artist?
No idea.
Or just some guy with a face that looks like he just smelled a fucking fart? What is?
It's some. I would suspect that it's some rapper dude, but that's me being stereotypical of black people. So, because every black famous person has to be a rapper, right, Doug? Anyway, before I answer, or no, I can answer. I'm gonna say a whole bunch of new people, meaning people in the scene now. Let's start with Ed Sheeran. No, I don't get it. I'll never understand it. I'm never going to understand it. A lot of you people like that. It doesn't work for me. Let's go with Drake. No.
You have legendarily talked about Drake on the show.
Let's go with Bieber. Let's go with let's see. I could just name a whole bunch of these new cats that my kids love. I think some of y'all still like Kanye, right? No, I'm not doing it. Kanye's, I mean, he's got a lot of bangers, man, but I just can't do it anymore. The White Lives Matter shirt, it was pretty much done at that point. So it doesn't even matter what you put out. I'm just not going to hear it as good. I'm in a badmouth Drake. Yeah. I just look. He's successful. He's vastly successful. When Drake does good things, though, I will admit that. But his latest song is abysmal, dog. Don't even try it. And then he has some dumb American slave lyric in it, like he's poking fun about American slavery or something. It's just a whole ass mess. Who else? Jack Harlow. No, not doing it.
You talked about him on the show.
No, before, I can't. Okay. Okay.
Steve Martin is a banjo player, so maybe that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Well, the best thing.
First of all,
that reminds me of Chris Brown. Yeah, there's another one.
Yeah, Chris Brown.
Fuck Chris Brown. On top of what he did to Rihanna, he's a horrible singer. But that dude's a world-class dancer. He's a world-class dancer. He's one of the best dancers, I believe, on the planet. And I'm not underestimating that or saying that to be or hyperbole. He's really, really good dancer. He's just a horrible human being
Yep.
and a worse singer. He's a brutal singer, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anyone else, Doug? You got some more? I know you got some more. I don't know if you even want to do artists as far as like, to me, artists is kind of broad, actually. I mean, you can go into actors and actresses and all that because there's an art kind of level to that, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other ones that like in any sort of genre. Like the problem is like I'm so woefully inept at knowing modern stuff. Like I said, I
That's
just
one.
yeah, well, R. Kelly was a good singer. He was just a pedophile. So like yeah, and unfortunately, not unfortunately, fortunately that we got found out about that, so we can put all that shit on blast and not listen to his stuff
Mhm,
anymore.
mhm.
Uh, but back in the day, that dude could sing. Uh, I will say something interesting that well interesting to me is like you shit on Chris Brown. I think Jason Derulo is a better dancer than Chris Brown is.
Oh, okay, okay. I never equally as bad music though, but
Yes, very much equally as bad
but
music.
I've
Yes.
never seen. I'll check out the Riddles dancing. I never even saw that. Okay, okay.
Yeah, he does like house dancing when he dances.
Hmm, hmm,
It kind of not as like I don't even remember the Black Eyed Peas before they had Fergie. Those motherfuckers could dance their ass off, and
hmm,
all of them,
hmm,
Will I Am, and all those dudes were just.
hmm.
Uh, oh, on a tangent on that, our friend Mike Keenan, who doesn't comment on the show, but he does like our stuff sometimes.
And he
He
does watch it, actually, I
yeah,
believe.
but he one time um talked about how he was in some club and some guy like he was dancing and some guy challenged him to dance and it was like the Asian guy from Black Eyed Peas he didn't realize it and that guy just destroyed him. Talk about walking in and just getting waylaid. That guy could really move. So yeah.
Right. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, can we what about rap? Because this is where I think we can get into a lot of different things about who like do you go and people love and you're just like, man, I don't get it. And I'm gonna say one that's pretty controversial. It's Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls is good.
Okay.
People talk about him.
Okay.
He's like one of the top great. No, not to me. He sounds mumbly, and I don't. Is his music catchy? Well, yeah,
Mhm,
Diddy as his producer, and Diddy's a good producer. So,
mhm.
regardless of what you think of him, he's a good producer. But like, I never thought that Biggie Smalls was anywhere in the upper levels of rap.
Wow. Wow. That's a good one, actually. Um, but I think you agree with me. I think his tragic ending adds more to his aura than he
Sure,
probably deserves, in your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like
sure.
that can enhance someone, especially as tragic as he went out. And like it's almost like it reminds me of Kurt Cobain, where he went out so young that people are like, oh no, like what kind of what I mean, like what do we miss? Like Jimi Hendrix kind of went out young, Amy
Yeah,
Winehouse, and then when
Amy
they
Winehouse,
do,
man. Ugh.
it makes it feel it. I think the way they go out and like how old they are, like really young, I think it gives them that more of like that leg. It's almost cements their legacy because they almost just have like you know what I mean, like and people miss them and yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well, I'm going to tell you, Chris makes a comment after that. He cannot be forgiven for cheating on Faith Evans because Faith Evans is a stunningly hot woman who can sing her ass off. But he was cheating on her with Lil Kim, so
I forget all that. I forgot all that.
yeah, that
I
was a whole
forgot
thing.
all that.
Did you ever
Right,
did you ever
right.
see the one? I think it was a Tupac documentary that I watched where they talked to Faith Evans, where Tupac talked her into going to some event with him, and Biggie's people were there, and he did it on purpose to like start shit with Biggie's people. And Faith Evans was like, "Oh no, you brought me into the middle of this, and I didn't realize." I'm like, "You went with the guy that your that your exes has like a giant problem with. What did you think was going to happen?" But yeah,
Mm, mhm, mm, mm. Yeah, so um we'll clean this one up, y'all. But Doug and I would like to hear if y'all got more. Of course, comment on here. We usually return our comments there. And throughout the week, if y'all think of somebody else y'all want to talk about in this way. But yeah, that's fun. I want to say another.
That was one you had that I gave you.
I still have it.
Yeah.
Well,
no. You had it on the show.
I had it. Okay.
So it's interesting because it's a golden ale, so it's not typical of the dragon's milk style, but it's a bit sweet for my taste. Because dragon's milk's dark and boozy, and this is definitely boozy. It's just sweeter than what I'm used to. So still good though.
Doug, we're gonna wrap up here soon. Are you do you have something that you're listening to?
I do.
Okay, cool. Cool. There we go. I should do what is it, jazzercise to that one? Something about that beat. I love it.
Yeah.
Doug, what are you listening to?
All right, so I'm gonna pull this up. Hopefully I can pull it up.
And any of y'all listening to something? Leave them in the comments.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. Let's hear what you guys are.
Music, audiobooks.
Yep. So whatever. What I'm listening to is generally speaking, I will almost always be listening to podcasts or audiobooks. In this case, this is a podcast called Hidden Signal. Hidden Signal was originally this evergreen, which was a really super interesting sort of apocalyptic tale that was really fascinating. And then they changed it to be in another season where it was almost like these Black Mirror sort of each episode's its own thing. Which is right up my alley because you know how much I love Black Mirror. Not as good as Black Mirror, but it's like kind of just on the fringe, a little ahead of where we're at. That I just think the episodes are really good. There is one that an offshoot that is not related to this. Is I talked a bit about Slow Burn, which is a podcast where they do basically take a season and they explore a topic. Like one season they explored Watergate, another season they explored the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal. They did a whole season where they were embedded in the Cleveland justice system, which was a mess. They did a one-off episode. They did these series of episodes that were like 1 year. So basically something that happened in a year that was something in American history that you just never really thought of or heard of. And they did one which was called Siberia 1955. And basically it was this whole podcast about how Alaska, before its statehood, would have all of their people who were mentally ill or needed help with mental health get shipped to Washington State because they were not a state yet. So they didn't have any mental health facilities at all in the entire state of Alaska. Alaska is enormous. And so there was a move to get them into statehood. And part of the deal was they would allocate 1 million acres to create a mental health facility for all of Alaskans to go to instead of being carted off 1,000 miles away to Washington State. And it is 1,000 miles, which sounds really crazy because we don't think of it that far. Yeah. But what that created was amongst conservative housewives in California is where it started, all Karens, came across this as a legislative bill and said, oh, that's going to be the United States version of a gulag. It's going to be Siberia in Alaska. So they did this whole effort to try to not have Alaska join the union. It was just this really fascinating podcast about something I'd never heard of in my life. Like some of that shit it's sometimes real life's really kind of wilder than, fiction sometimes. And that's one of the instances of that. So yeah. But that's a single episode, but that thing was awesome.
Wow. So there's always been dumb shit going on.
Always. And it's all the same talking points of the right-wing wingnuts now. It's like like verbatim. Right. Like Americans are going to be rounded up and they're going to be taken away and you're not going to know because you disagree with something. And I'm like, oh, so this is the same shit we're doing now. Fucking 80 years later. Great.
Mm-hmm. So let's see what y'all let's see what y'all listening to here. Russell Black Joe Lewis, R.L. Burnside. Okay. Nice, nice. I'm loving both Annie's Ep and Jelly Rolls.
Oh, Annie DeFranco and Jelly Roll is really good. I like Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll, Jelly Roll. Zach says you need to check out Bomb Rush Cyberpunk soundtrack, but y'all won't. You need to.
Well, but you need to. Okay.
Right. All out Burnside is great.
Is he a video game composer?
Yeah, I've never heard that name, y'all. I'm gonna look that up afterwards. Also catching up on Spooked.
I don't know that one.
Washington.
Chris, can you elaborate on what that podcast is about? Because I'm all about the podcast.
It sounds interesting, and I don't know. The dude's last name is Washington, so I know he's dope. So, yeah, Doug, we are going to wrap up, y'all. Yeah, it's early. I have to hit the road, and I am not packed. Are y'all? Doug and I were talking about this a little earlier. Do y'all how do y'all pack? Do y'all pack like the last minute? And like I asked Doug earlier, are y'all like assholes with the time? So like if everybody says we have to leave at 8, are y'all like stamping your feet at like 7:58 when people aren't ready? And I understand. I'm not talking about like when you go on a vacation, there are things that you have to hit, but it's not like you're going to work, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're doing it right, you also be leaving time, to pee or stop and get gas. You gotta like
eat. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, but are y'all like, oh wow, stamping feet at 7? So it's on season 7, Doug, and it's spooky story themed.
All right, that I dig. So I might have to check that out.
Yeah, that sounds like fiction. That's good. That's not a bad thing. That's good. Or maybe it's nonfiction. And that would be good too, actually. They both would be good, actually, depending on
sometimes the spooky shit where it's not fiction is like the best because that's like real life shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes life is more, unfortunately, more the reality than it is. Like, when it's not hot and ready, you pull out an AK-47. Now that's something I thought. Pretty sure that could be something out of a movie, Dog. Somebody wrote it in, and yeah. So R.L. Burnside was blues singer in the 90s. Tom Rothrock produced a remix album, and it did well. Same producers, early Beck stuff. Listen to.
All right, now I need to check that out because that sounds
okay.
That sounds excellent.
Yeah.
Early Beck stuff before he turned into a Scientologist.
Beck's a Scientologist? Kind of makes sense.
He was in it for a while, then got out. But yeah.
Okay. It kind of, I don't know. Beck always came off, at least his music. He always came off to me. Like I always thought, dude, this dude's pretty smart. Like Beck always gave me smart vibes. I think maybe because of how he works, but also like his lyrics seem to be, kind of on point. But doesn't mean anything. And who knows if he has ghostwriters like Drake? Yeah, I stuck that one in there. And
by the way, there's lots of pop singers who do not write their own.
Right. But with Drake though, specifically, that man has a problem with his haters because he's always talking about it. So then, like, people come at you when you're always talking about your haters, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're almost opening yourself up for haters like me to jump in. I was talking about your haters. So
hey, fuck you, Drake.
Right. Listen, I don't fully hate him. When Drake makes a good song, I'm in. But Drake doesn't make good songs, so it's a problem.
I'm kind of on the same thing with Bieber. Bieber makes some songs that are like, that's a really fucking.
He makes some good songs,
and then he makes some songs like that fucking blows. Like I don't.
Right. Thank you. And then both their
fucking Zach.
It's Zach. This is what happens when you become successful.
Yeah, when you're successful and you have that many slippers,
you get too many haters. Right. Haters is a level of success. So shout out to Drake. He has a lot of haters and he's very successful. So shout out to him on that one. And his friend, who also I think sucks, DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled?
But he
is it DJ Khaled because there's DJ and then there's Khalid who is like
there's Khalid and then there's DJ Khaled, but he calls himself DJ Cali now. It's DJ like California. DJ Khaled, we make the best music, dog. You don't know that? so nauseating. DJ
Well, I was thinking of Khaled because he's the one that like famously said he would never go down on his woman because he doesn't do that. And I was like, yeah,
That's
okay,
Khaled.
dude. Yeah.
Okay. Well, DJ Khaled's last album, Doug, literally is it's named God Did. So I know you probably
I didn't
really
know that.
God did. Mhm. Well, God did make a bad album if God had anything to do with that shit, because that shit was not good. Anyway,
Yeah.
was good. Oh, Chris, stop.
Yeah.
That's actually one of Drake's better ones for sure. Not a question. I don't really like it. I mean, it's all right. I liked it once. I heard it once. I was like, oh, this is good. And then I heard it again. I was like, this is trash. But my kids who have a more objective look at Drake as opposed to a hater look as me say that that's one of his best ones. So you can take that as yeah. Doug, did you pre-order the Fortnite vinyl?
No.
First of all, there's Fortnite vinyl.
I'm sure there is. They have
Right.
a million tunes in that thing where you can play in the lobby and stuff. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff you could listen to with that. And they managed to pay artists to have like some of their very popular songs, like "Blinding Lights" is one of their songs, and like
Okay.
them and it. So they have a lot of
Cool.
shit they can pull from.
Good stuff. My sons just started playing COD this week, Doug, for the first time. Yeah. My kids also don't want to. I agree. I agree. The oldest kind of changed though, Chris, because like he came to me this week and he's like, "Okay, I thought about what you said, and I listened, and I really, really, I didn't understand your theory on the whole thing, and I'm pretty much game in." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm kind of beyond all that now." But like, it was funny how it came back and was like, yeah, I got you." And I'm like, "Well, what do you understand? I want to buy a fucking console, and I want you to be on board. What teenagers? I don't know. I'm not even."
Well, and probably it was in hindsight. He was like, "Oh, I can get a new toy. This would be great."
Yeah, but the first 6 times I presented to you, y'all were like, Anyway, Russell always loves watching and listening to you guys. Can't wait to be on in 2 weeks now.
Yep.
NHL referee.
Yeah, and we'll have Julie with him.
It's
So
weird.
that,
This is gonna be fun.
gonna be so good. So yeah, we have not talked much about wine. We have not talked about hockey hardly at all. I don't think.
Ever.
And you are a hockey person, so
Yes.
this is gonna be great.
I'm not so much anymore. Maybe Russell can get me back. I used to be huge. I haven't seen any of it recently at all. It doesn't help that I'm nowhere. Russell doesn't help that I'm nowhere near a goddamn hockey team.
There's a
Closest one
semi-pro
is
team.
Chicago. And the other
Yeah.
one is they're literally out of state. So
There's a hockey team that is a semi-pro one, like double A or I think double
that's
A.
fun. That's
And
fun.
it's great. You can get seats right by the glass all the time. I think
Yes.
the kids were like, "This is fucking awesome!" Like
Yeah.
it's so fast. Like when
Doug,
you're there live, that is one of the best sports I've ever seen live. That and like I'm a basketball nut, so I'm always going to pick basketball. But hockey's a close second.
Elmira? Doug?
No, not Elmira. Elmira is about an hour from me. Binghamton has a hockey team.
The Binghamton
Bears.
Rangers.
The
Are they
Binghamton
still
Bears. They're the Binghamton Bears.
Bears
They've
now?
changed names like 50 times.
Yeah, okay. They were Rangers when I was back there.
Yeah, but they're the
yeah.
Binghamton Bears and Black Bears. But regardless, those games are great to watch just live. So yep.
And Doug, you remember the Hershey Bears. So Hershey Bears were amazing to go watch. I love that. Russell, what I do have though, since I'm in Madison, we do have the Wisconsin hockey team, and that is fun shit too to go to. And we haven't been forever because of the pandemic. And I was talking to the boys about going this year, and now we have this nonsense coming back in. So I don't know what we're gonna do. But yeah, hockey season. Yeah. Oh, I'm from Michigan where we used to have a good hockey team. Wow, Detroit has fallen off big, apparently.
Well, not just that, the University of Michigan, I think, is what you're referring to. It used to be a fucking powerhouse in college hockey.
Yeah. But Detroit Red Wings have fallen off too, though, right? Pretty sure.
Since
because
Steve
but
Eiserman was
but
gone, yeah.
falling off is kind of a bad. Chris, if you're talking about the Red Wings, falling off is kind of, I mean, expected. They dominated for, it felt like decades there with Scotty Bowman and all that shit going on. Eiserman, like you said, Fedorov. I can name all those names, Joe. They had a big, nasty defenseman. I forget who he was. Anyway, I never liked the Trey Red Wings. I remember hating them because they were so good. So,
Fucking Chris
yeah,
Chelios, Jesus Christ.
Chris
Oh, God.
Chelios. Is that what y'all said? That's what it
That's
was, I think.
that's what Zach said.
Okay, okay.
He meant
Stop
Chris
it, Zach.
Chelios. Yeah.
Chris Chelios was a motherfucker. Oh
Yeah,
my
he was.
god, that dude was a motherfucker. Like
So
a motherfucker you wanted on your team, though. You know what I mean? He was
yeah,
somebody
for
you
sure.
wanted on your team, not against you.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? I was right. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was bad.
No worries, no worries.
No, we got
Yeah.
a lot of hockey to discuss with Russ because I have questions because I haven't watched him forever, but I'm really intrigued to talk about that. Oh, I bet this is gonna be fun. What's gonna be fun is watching Julie, his girlfriend, be like, "What are you talking about?"
Right. Or no, it could go both ways, Doug. It could be, what are you talking about? Or it could be, oh fuck, I've heard this fucking story like 6 times already. You know how us guys do that. We tell the same story over and over and over and over. And
Yeah.
our wives or ladies are in the back, like their eyes are just glazing over from like dealing with our shit.
Yeah. Well, I just meant that I know Julie is a giant Kansas City Chiefs fan, so she's football style, and also
Oh fuck.
no, that's good. That. Yeah, but that's a
no,
good
it's
thing.
not good, dog. They're the champs. They're kicking everybody's ass, and maybe they're a little shitty now, but that's gonna change. We all know it.
Yeah, eventually. Well,
but she's not obnoxious though, so that's good.
The good thing is Mahomes has like no supporting cast this year, so it'll be fun to talk about that.
Right. But she's not obnoxious though. We're good.
No, she's not.
I just like, I just don't want to hear another Chiefs fan. I'm just like, I can't.
Would you like to hear a Jags fan talk about how much we suck? Because that'd be something I could talk about.
Maybe better. That would be better. Well, you brought it up, so now.
No, oh wait, we got to talk this the whole Taylor Swift Kelsey thing.
Yeah, good. Hopefully that derails Kels and he's got his head somewhere else, figuratively and literally, and pun intended. And I mean, it's hard not to get all mixed up with Taylor Swift. Come on now, it's Taylor Swift.
She's the white Beyonce. So
don't do that.
Yeah, she's not Beyonce. I'm just saying in popularity. She is.
Don't do that. Don't go there. We don't. You don't want the beehive let out on you, Doug. You don't know what happens when I do not. You don't want the Swifties out. You don't want the Swifties out on you.
I want no smoke from either of them. Leave me alone.
You don't want any smoke from anyone.
And I'm not on Twitter anymore, so they can't come after me too much.
Well, they can come out. Look, I think I'm on Twitter, and
good. Go after Greg.
Well, no, don't go after anybody because they'll kill you. Those people. I'm not. No. Yeah, Beehives and the Swifties, and somehow if we got them both against us, we wouldn't. Look, our hearts literally couldn't take it anymore. Yes. Oh, The Weeknd. That's another one. The Weeknd. Horrible. I don't care if y'all like him.
You and I are gonna
bitch.
No, you and I are gonna disagree on that.
He's
big time.
I like The Weeknd when he's not whining through songs. It's like shut up, dude.
I will tell you that I think that him in that show, The Idol, he was in, apparently he was terrible in that. So great on that. You're right. But I actually, one of my kids was like, "Oh, you should listen to him." And when you listen to his stuff, I agree. The whiny stuff. There's certain guys that like shouldn't sing the whiny love stuff. He's one of them. But when he sings the upbeat stuff, it's fucking great.
Cool. Great. Yeah, I listened to his whole last album. I listened to it, and I thought it was decent. Now he comes up with this song with Metro Booming, and it's just a damn mess, in my opinion.
Okay.
So yeah, The Weeknd, because I know some of y'all like him, and Doug already does. So
I do.
Right.
I'm also old to take my opinion with about 50 grains of salt on that because
Right. Well, I wanted to hit you with the Jags a little bit because you brought them up. Um, with all due respect, you know what means. You know what happens when people say that shit. Fuck your owner. Fuck him, and he can take his, in my opinion, Jacksonville Jaguar team, which has never been a winner, and stick it sideways like The Rock says, shove it straight up his ass because he wants $1 billion from the people of Jacksonville to keep them in Jacksonville. I do not agree with socialism for rich folks. And that's what that is. If
Yep.
you have to take money out of my pocket to pay for your little playland that really only for a couple thousand people will enjoy in a couple thousand times. No, take your proposal. He's like, well, I'm going to leave Jacksonville. Bye, bye. Hit the road, Jack. You can go to London. $1 billion you want from the taxpaying people of Jacksonville. Nah, man. Nah, come on.
I
This dude
hadn't
is
heard
like,
that. No,
he's a billion. He's dude's almost a trillionaire. He's got so much money. He can't dip into his own pockets to pay for his own football playland.
Yep.
That's what you get. So it's nothing against the Jaguars. You know, I don't have anything against the Jaguars other than that shit.
Now, I will say the
I
only
root for the Jaguars, actually. I'm cool with them. I like
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. I like everything about
Yeah.
them, except for that shit.
Now, that's the thing you can give Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, some kudos for. He built his own fucking stadium.
Right. And pay for it.
He may be a dick and a fucking knob or whatever, but he paid for his own stadium because he wanted to be something fucking badass. And good on him.
Right. They also pay for their own fucking stadiums, period. Like, there's only literally one person in that. There's two teams that aren't really well. There's a couple teams that aren't really rich, but like the Vegas owner, he inherited his team and he doesn't do anything. His dad, that was Al Davis.
Al Davis,
right, and he inherited that team, but he literally doesn't do anything else besides being Al Davis' son. So he doesn't have any like businesses or anything like that. So he just inherited the team. I'm not trying to demean him. That's what happens. The Green Bay Packers are not owned by one person, so they can't be rich like that either. Okay, I got that. So if the Green Bay Packers want to solicit Green Bay in order to do renovations for Lambeau, I'm cool with, because they're basically kind of owned by that city. They're never going to leave. You know what I mean, Doug? There's never,
and they're just updating the stadium. They're not fucking trying to build a whole new thing, right?
But even if they're right, but even if they do, well, they'll never have to, because if they just keep Lambeau up, that's just a fucking great, wonderful.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But so like that's a different condition. But even if they did need to build a new Lambeau, I would support that just because of the structure of the organization, meaning there's no owner and they're really a community, and people really, I don't know if you've ever been there, but people love it. And it's just really, they're really part of that community up there.
Right.
You couldn't have the Green Bay without the Packers. It's just not, I just don't see any scenario. So I would approve in that way. Other than that, fuck all you. Fucking pay for your own shit. Fuck you. Fuck. I can't say it enough. Like, and these are the guys who like vote against evil socialists like George Soros. You know what I'm talking about, that.
Right.
So like, I really, because they want to take more tax. They want to like actually fair tax us so that other people like Doug and I don't have to be taxed. Like, oh, stop it. So fuck all you. That's what I'm done with my little rant on that. It just annoys me every time. It doesn't matter if it was my Browns. My Browns are sniffing around trying to get a new stadium too. No motherfuckers. Jimmy Haslam, you fucking sleazeball, who literally stole money from truckers because of like this big scam. He got his whole company raided, and somehow the CEO didn't know about what was going on. So he's a sleaze, and he can pay. He has money to buy the Bucks and the soccer team, and so you can pay for your own fucking stadium, then, dude. Yes, you can. Fuck you. No, we need to say no to all these people. If all of us on the ground said no, then they wouldn't be able to pull the scam. But like, you could pull that scam like the Jacksonville owners trying to say, well, I'm gonna move if y'all don't give me $1 billion. Hit the road.
I wish they would. As a Jaguars fan, I wish they would move somewhere that's a better place. Honestly, I would. They would be so much better off in a different spot.
Right.
And just, hey, it's a threat that owners use all the time. It's bullshit. And I'm still trying to marvel at the idea that Green Bay even has an NFL team. Like, how big is Green Bay? Like not big.
A little bit bigger than Enwell.
Like that is a
Truth,
tiny
though.
town and it has an NFL
Truth.
team. That should never have happened, but it
Truth.
did.
Right.
And
And
guess and it's part of the NFL lore. That team can never move. That
well,
has to stay where it is.
right. And also though, like, and living here, I can speak to this. The name is Green Bay Packers, but they're literally the Wisconsin Packers because people travel from the whole state to go up there, and the
Yep.
whole state like supports them. Unlike Pennsylvania or even New York, where y'all got multiple teams, so your whole state does not support one team. This just doesn't happen. And like same with Pennsylvania, where you have the Steelers and the Eagles, there's just no way that the whole state could coalesce around one. Ohio has the Browns and Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yep.
there are places where the whole state can't just coalesce. But in Wisconsin, y'all, we do it big with the Packers and the Badgers. Like the whole state comes together and like sells out all the games, whether they are shitty or not. So the whole state really supports the Packers, and the whole state literally does because we just gave money to the Packers so that they could host they're hosting the draft next year, Doug. So the state gave funds to the Packers so that they could make the facilities better and do all this different things. So here we go again with the state helping the Packers, and that's fine. But the state should tell the Milwaukee Brewers to go to hell because the Milwaukee Brewers are trying to get money. Actually, the Milwaukee Brewers got money out of my tax-paying fucking funds to keep the Brewers in Milwaukee. Well, the Brewers should be told to go somewhere else if they can't afford it. I'm sorry. I'm tired of this shit. And I'm a sports ball head, Doug. You know I am.
I know you are.
You know I am, but this is where the line ends for me. This is where the rubber meets the road. And this is also where the rubber is going to meet the road for this stream, Doug. So we're going to review and get out of here unless you have something else to say.
Nope, I'm good. Let's do it, man.
So satisfying that. So it's always going to be satisfying that sound of a beer. And I only have one, Doug, because I'm going on the road tomorrow. I'll be in if anybody wants to join me at Third Space's 7th anniversary, I'll be there around 2ish, picking up my beer that I ordered online. And I may have one or two or a couple sips because I'll be driving. But I may have like a little bit of and hang out a little bit, maybe grab some food with the boys because the boys will be with me. But I'll be at Third Space tomorrow. But I did have this tonight that Doug gave me at Barrel Flow, and it's really, really nice black lager. It's just really, really nice sipping, and it's still here. So it's gonna be my one because I gotta get up early and stay up late and do all this mess just to leave and come back for one day. But it's gonna be fun.
Yep.
So yeah, what's going on, Doug?
I'm going to surprise you folks. My least favorite. To me, it was too sweet. Maybe it was, I don't know. That's a surprise. This is Dragon's Milk has never failed me, and this was probably my least favorite. My second favorite was the Tall, Dark, and Mild out of Necromancer, English Dark Mild, really good.
Yes.
But the
Necromancer doesn't.
They don't.
Necromancer does not disappoint. Sorry.
Nope. So the Nitro 3 Philosophers was my favorite out of the three.
How can it not be?
I am surprised how much the Dragon's Milk one was it was overly sweet for me. That was a problem. It was just like, ugh. So it doesn't. Other people that might hit right for me. That is a rare miss for Dragon's Milk for me.
And you're a sucker for Three Philosophers too. So there's a.
I am, but I will take a Dragon's Milk over Three Philosophers any day of the week and twice on Sundays. But it was just too sweet for me.
Those are two of your favorites, though. Two
Yep.
tried and true favorites for sure.
Yep.
So all right, Doug. Yeah, Daniel, Third Space anniversary, 7th anniversary. Yay.
Oh, that's great. Awesome.
Yeah, I was virtually hanging out with my parents who are celebrating their golden anniversary. Well, that's cool, Daniel. That's a great excuse for missing us. Dark Miles, of course. Oh, Manny's here.
Yeah, sorry, Manny, you're jumping in at the end of the stream, dude.
Yeah, but you always got the replay button on this wonderful.
Yes,
Would you rather have the dragon's milk or taste the biscuit?
dragon's milk, and that's a hard choice because Taste of Biscuit is pretty fucking awesome.
The with honey, the biscuit.
Yeah, I'm not like her. Give me the honey. I'm good.
Okay, right. I think a good biscuit, the honey complements it. It's not needed though, but yeah. Amen. I'm not sure what if he's amening to. Probably one of your beers.
Fucking Manny being like, "This is one of my favorites," and he just jumped in right to fucking.
Right. Well, he already knew that it was great, so he didn't even need to.
Yeah, you're
Uh,
right.
so next week is Oktoberfest, y'all.
Yeah,
So we don't have a guest yet. Any of y'all want to jump on and have a couple
yeah, we could have
Oktoberfest beers with us?
a community Oktoberfest. Bring it.
All of y'all in the comments, all of y'all are former guests. All. I can say all. Look at it. As I scroll, not Russell, but close. Russell, we're gonna get you in here soon. But I'm pretty sure as I scroll here, I don't see JHG, but he's at home.com. That's the reason he's not here. But everybody has commented tonight as a past guest. So all of y'all are invited next week if y'all would like. You just have to DM us the you have to DM us for the link, or you have to tell us. We can't read your mind, John. I'm pretty smart, telekinetic, but I can't. Isn't telekinetic when you can read people's minds? So I'm not telekinetic or something. Who make a pumpkin spice beer? I'm not sure.
Yeah, who are you asking?
Third space, I think. But
No.
ain't there no. Let's dance. You talking about coming on next week, Chris? Let's go. Oh, his box is coming soon.
Yeah, he's ordered. I think he ordered an Oktoberfest box, so that'd be nice.
Yeah, and I think he was talking about joining us. So
yeah, bring it on, Daniel.
That would be cool. Anyone? I'm a basic B. We were talking about the beehive earlier, so if that's cereal
Damas. No sense of Nostradamus.
Okay. David Bowie. I like David Bowie until I found out he wasn't he like MAGA-ish or something at the end there?
He was also cancer riddled at the end, so let's give him a bit of a pass.
Okay, so
he was married to Iman, and she was Muslim, so like I doubt he was super MAGA-y.
Well, not you know what I mean, like the British form of MAGA, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
Boris Johnson.
Brexit-ish. I thought maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking about the wrong British fella. Here's another past guest, Rod.
Yeah, Rod.
Rod, you want to come on next Friday? You're welcome.
Hey, come on,
you're always
homie.
welcome here.
We're
So
we're gonna do an Oktoberfest. Bring it on, my man.
Yeah, Rod, don't even front.
Yeah, bring it on, man.
Don't front, Rod. You know you're welcome here whenever you want to be here. Yeah, see, Rod, and you're getting people to say, "Yeah, bring on Rod." Absolutely,
bring on Rod. That's what she said. Sorry.
I thought we had tamped Zach down from the crude humor, dog, and you just
yeah, Rod. yeah, Rod. No,
I'm ending the stream,
Rod, y'all. Please come on next week. It'll be great.
Rod, we just let you know. We just did. Want to come on? Should I just? All you have to say is send me the invite, and you're in, Rod. 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Well, not Rod's in Eastern, so hard pause.
Manny comes in and just fucking throwing fucking 89 mile per hour fastballs, which is slow.
Right.
Maybe 99 mile per hour fastball, just like zooming across. I will tell you, this is why we do this show for the fucking comments. I'm not kidding. We just have so much fun with you guys. So thanks for joining us on this.
Y'all make me blush. And how do you get a black man to blush? How do y'all do that? Look, you see the red. Look at it. See now? Yeah.
Piper.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here because I gotta pack, man. I don't have, and it's gonna be one of those things, Doug, where like I always when I pack late, there's always something I forget, and then you remember like when you're right on the road for like an hour,
Yeah, you're like,
you're like
fuck.
fuck, I forgot.
All right, here's the things I'm going to tell you to remember. Chargers. Remember your chargers. Any meds you're taking. Those two things are the big things. Remember
Okay,
any meds.
I live with a nurse, man, so like that shit. Like I get reminded like 6 times, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I
No, that's
mean
a
like
good thing.
no, and I need to be reminded 6 times. So I'm not discouraging this at all. Pants, wear pants. This bullshit. The show is contracted for another 2 hours. Are you a
No,
sponsor?
it's not.
Okay,
When you're
Hey,
on, we expect that, but
right. Are you coming on next week, Zach? That may work. Let me check my schedule.
oh yeah,
I'll
Zach,
be a VidCon.
bring your California Oktoberfest beers. Bring that, man. We want to hear. We really do.
Yeah, but he's gonna end up bringing like pastry stouts and then blaming you for it.
Yeah, well, he can blame me all he wants. If he brings pastry stouts, that's on him. I'm going to be bringing Oktoberfest beers. So it'll be good.
Mhm. So Rod, you'll be at VidCon. So, but we'll probably, if especially if Zach's on, this may be like a 2-3 hour kind of thing. So you may be able to join us on the tail end. Keep that in mind too. So, Rod, I'll just send you the link, and then if you can jump in, you can, or if you feel like it, that's cool. If not, then you won't. How about that? We'll do that. We'll go like that.
No, so,
Pumpkin pie beer.
hey, if you have it,
Yes.
bring it, man. Bring it.
Yeah, I would try that. Yep. So what I'm also going to try is to hit this button to get out of here, Doug.
Yep.
Thanks again, Doug. We'll see you next week. We'll have a good time. Have a great weekend, y'all. I will have a good weekend. So I hope y'all do too. First weekend
Take
of
care, everybody.
fall, fireplaces, pumpkin beers, heavy beers. Y'all can start mixing in some big stouts too. I mean, we drink stouts all the time here, all the way around, but it's really stout season now, especially the bourbon barrels, though.
Yeah, baby.
You gotta get some warm, warm you uppers. So I hope that our outro warms y'all up too. Cheers, y'all. Thanks for joining. And like and subscribe and share. We never say that shit, Doug.
No, we shouldn't, but we should.
Yeah. Already? Okay, so Rod said it's cool to send him a link, so we'll get that
Sounds
link to
good.
him. Yeah, Mr. Rogers sweaters.
Man.
Yeah, I don't have a sweater. I need a good.
I
Remember who?
have bunches of sweaters.
Who was it who had the banging cardigan? Was that Jeremy?
Jeremy had a good cardigan, and yeah, I was like, I have several of those, and I didn't wear them because usually I wear t-shirts on the show.
Right, it was Jeremy though, right? Who had the because everybody was commenting on it, shit, and he was even like, "Oh, y'all making me feel good."
Yeah, we need to have him and Mallory on again, but we'll work on that.
I've already said I love Mallory, but if we just have to quote settle for Jeremy, I'm good.
That's a nice settle, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. I'm already there, man. The guy is fun, engaging, and we learn a lot when he's around. So, look at that.
Yeah, baby.
See,
cardigans and slippers.
Hey, I need a good one, Doug. I don't have a sweater. I used to have one when I was young, but I don't have one now. So maybe I'll look for.
We'll work on that.
I'm out my adventures this week, so I'm gonna hit this button because otherwise we'll be here for another hour and a half. And I said I was trying to get out of here in an hour. So bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody. Weekend. Catch you guys next.